Have you ever had to deal with racism? How did you handle it? I know it's not something a lot of people like to talk about, but the truth is, racism is real. And we all, at some point, will either witness it, experience it, or be a part of conversations where it's being discussed. It can happen anywhere, at the store, at work, or even with people you care about. Sometimes it's obvious. Other times, it's more subtle. But either way, we all need to know how to deal with it. Today, I want to talk about how to handle racism in real, everyday situations. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's tough, it's draining, but we all have the power to respond in ways that make a difference. Let's dive into it. First things first, recognizing racism isn't always as clear-cut as you might think. We've all seen the classic moments, someone shouting something offensive, making a slur, or doing something violent. But sometimes, racism is hidden in the little things. Like when you walk into a store and you're suddenly being watched by the security guard, even though you haven't done anything. You can feel it, but it's hard to prove. That's racism, and it's subtle, but it happens all the time. Racism doesn't always come with a loud, "I don't like you because of your race" statement. Sometimes it's just the way people look at you or the assumptions they make about you. What to do when it happens, how to respond. Okay, so let's say you're in a situation and racism is happening right in front of you. Maybe it's directed at you, or maybe it's happening to someone else. How do you handle it? What do you say? Imagine this. You're in a meeting at work. You speak up, but your ideas get brushed aside, and then the white guy in the corner says the exact same thing and gets praised for it. You might feel like, should I say something? Is it worth the trouble? Here's the thing. You have a right to speak up. Don't let it slide. You don't have to make a scene, but you can say something like, "I actually said that earlier." Can we give credit where it's due? Keep it calm. Keep it firm. By doing this, you're calling attention to the bias without escalating the situation. What if it happens, and you just don't know how to respond? Maybe you're caught off guard, or it feels too uncomfortable to address in the moment. That's normal. We've all been there. Let's say you're at a party, and someone makes a comment that feels off, like a joke about another race. You feel it in your gut, but you don't know how to react. It's like everything goes silent in your mind for a second. If you don't feel safe or comfortable speaking up in that moment, it's okay. But here's what you can do. Later, in a private conversation, let them know why what they said was offensive. You don't have to be a hero in every moment. Sometimes it's more powerful to address it later when you can think clearly. Now, what if the racism is coming from people you know and care about? Maybe a family member or a close friend says something racist. That's a whole different challenge. Imagine you're at a family dinner, and someone cracks a joke that's just flat out wrong. You're like, did they really just say that? You don't want to cause drama, but it's hurtful. What do? It's hard, but the truth is, you have to say something. You can say, "Hey, that's not cool. That's a stereotype, and it's not funny." It might feel awkward at first, but if you don't say anything, you're allowing it to continue. And if these are people you care about, you should want to help them understand why it's wrong. Dealing with racism, whether it's direct or indirect, can wear you out mentally and emotionally. So, let's talk about self-care for a second. Look, dealing with this stuff all the time can drain your energy. If you're constantly fighting battles, you'll burn out. It's okay to take a break. Whether it's going for a walk, talking to a friend, or even just taking a mental day, take care of yourself. Your peace matters. Finally, let's talk about standing together. Racism doesn't just affect people of color. It's a fight we should all be part of. If you see racism happening, speak up. Don't just stand by and watch. If you see someone being attacked because of their race, don't stay silent. Be an ally. Whether it's calling out a racist comment, offering support, or just being there for someone, every act counts. Together, we're stronger. Dealing with racism isn't easy, and it's not something that gets fixed overnight. But we all have a role to play. Whether you're calling it out, educating others, or taking care of yourself, every small step counts. So let's keep this conversation going. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Have you ever had to deal with racism? How did you handle it? Let's talk about it.